Betel nut chewing has become a tradition here on the islands, and for some it's become a way of life. With this in mind, the University of Guam's Cancer Research Center has been studying these habits to determine if chewing betel nut, also known as pugua, can cause cancer. According to UOG Senior Vice President and Principal Investigator Dr. Helen Whippy, researchers on island are studying these habits. She says there are different ways to chew it.
I think Chamorros generally chew just the nut, and everybody around here is nodding their head, oh yeah. So I know many people, including our president, who chews betel nut, so we're hoping that that's not the carcinogen, but we'll find out. They chew it with tobacco, and that, of course, would stain your mouth. And then they chew it with the leaf and the lime. And sometimes they even put alcohol in it as well. So there are many ways to do it.
This nut grows in much of the tropical Pacific Islands, Asia, and parts of East Africa. While Chamorros typically chew the nut with leaves called pugua, Dr. Whippy says the way it is chewed differs from people around the Micronesia.
We also found out that in Chuk, chewing betel nut is a recent practice. And so their rates of cancer, especially oral cancer, are not quite the same as, say, Yap, where they've chewed betel nut as part of their culture for years and years and years.
In 2009, the UOG Cancer Research Center partnered with the Cancer Research Center of Hawaii at UH Manoa. They received a 5-year, $12.5 million grant from the National Institutes of Health. $8 million of that amount will go to spend on Guam to research issues like this. Because so many people on Guam chew betel nut, Dr. Whippy says they're hoping to gather more data.
We should have some results for you by next year, because the oral lesion and cancer study will be over by then. That involves dentists from Saipan and Guam. They've done training. They're taking samples of oral lesions and they're trying to correlate that. And we should be able to tell you how to prevent that and what it means at the end of next year by our next community research update.
To date, they've been able to determine that the cancers in Pacific Islander populations are linked to lifestyle or infections. Dr. Whippy says with the help of this grant, they're hoping to determine what causes cancer on Guam and the region. For this week's Health Check Report, I'm Michelle Kennedy.
Health Check is presented by